name is Olaniyi Ajilore. I'm your host and the news publisher and editor for Reference Daily News. And my co-host is Tunde Akingbondere. We have a special guest joining us live from Nigeria, Lagos, I believe. And we're going to be engaging him, series of questions regarding to, of course, Nigerian state. Today we give a brief, of course, biography of our guest. Then we will start. Tunde.
Thank you so much, sir. On board this evening is a personality that we don't just need introduction for. He's a very popular person that made a lot of things happen in the world of activism. Apart from the fact that he had contributed in no small measure to music and introducing a lot of transformational philosophies that would catalyze a lot of things in our system. But in the interest of the best of introduction, I think I would read a few things I have there in respect to most respected Charles Chukwuemeka Oputa, popularly known as Charlie Boy. Charlie Boy was born on the 19th June, 1950. He is a Nigerian singer, stroke songwriter, television presenter, publisher, and producer. One of Nigeria's most controversial entertainers. He's best known for his alternative lifestyle, political views, and media productions, most notably the Charlie Boy Show. He is served as the president of the Performing Musician Associations of Nigeria, the Musicians Association of Nigeria, and in 2011, he was an Idol series judge. So as far as this engagement is concerned, this is all I'll be able to at least expose to us on this platform this evening about our very popular Charles Oputa, popularly known as Charlie Boy. I think it is reasonable at this point to actually usher us into the gala of this interview. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much today. And sir, I want to say welcome to our show. And thank you for joining us. Thank you for honoring our invitation. We know you're very busy, but you make up time to honor our invitation. Thank you so much and welcome, sir.
Thank you.
All right, sir. Again, we appreciate all your hard work. You're consistent in fighting for justice in Nigeria. And I want to ask, how has it been using your voice, of course, using your talent to speak against injustice, corruption in Nigeria?
It's been tough. It's not really for the faint-hearted, because most of the time when you're doing something and it comes from the bottom of your heart, from your soul, you expect to see some kind of result in what you're doing, and will only be encouraged by those little low-hanging fruits of progress that you make along this journey. But in Nigeria today, it looks like things are going from bad to worse, from worse to horrible, So, and this is what I tell some like-minded people. If we don't get together to sharpen each other, to encourage each other, we'll just burn out. Because most people now are suffering from fatigue. And as far as they're concerned, they're just engaged in survival. It's just about surviving, which is not too good a thing, because once you're deeply engaged in just surviving, then you can't give quality thinking or logic to other things that you would love to do, because you're engaged in just surviving. And that is where most of us have found ourselves,
Wow, that's amazing.
It's it's been tedious, it's been disheartening, it's been discouraging, but if that's the way you're made, that's the way God has made you, you know, that's who you are. You'll always be, you always be not too happy when you see all these injustices that is abounded in this country.
Hmm. That's amazing. And of course, it's not easy, as you said. And, my follow-up question to that is, even what keep people like you going, even though after years and years of agitating, going through different medium to make sure you pass your information across, but the government is not getting it, and it seems like even the people are not getting it as well. So, number one, what is keeping you moving? Then, with all this reaction, backlashes, how is it playing out? After many years of your activism, how is it playing out?
Well, what keeps me going is that, to be honest with you, I've met a few exceptional and outstanding youths of this great country,
Okay.
you know, and I've had a lot to learn from them, to listen to them. And that is why I am convinced beyond doubt that the salvation of this country lies in the hands of its exceptional people. Who are these exceptional people? They are the youth.
Hmm.
They may not come in thousands and millions, and I'm not just talking about youth as per the youth that we see. I'm talking about exceptional, outstanding youth.
Of
Like I
course.
said, I'm privileged to meet a few of them.
Hmm.
And I know that when they do come together, when they come together to strategize, because you cannot tell me that uh, older people have more knowledge about technology and how to disperse information over young people. Young people are the now people. Young people are trending people. Okay? So I believe that, and that's where my job as an area father lies, to connect the dots, to connect all these people, this exceptional people that I always am talking about, together so they can do the needful, because this fight is for young Nigerians.
That's right.
In terms of future, what kind of future are they looking for? Because you can't stay in your house and say that you accept change unless you yourself, you have to be the change. You have to start from yourself.
That's right. Yes, sir.
And then what has kept me going with all the betrayals since the past 45 years, going to almost 50 years of doing this, that has kept me going is the few people I've encountered along the way. I've heard them, I've learned from them, and that is why I'm convinced to date that the salvation lies in the hands of these exceptional people. Okay.
That's amazing.
I'm hoping that they can pool their resources together and do the needful. Because if you're not at the table where your future is being discussed, then eventually you don't have a future in the equation.
That's very true. That's very true.
Beginning to look for young youths of this country. Okay, they are so disenfranchised. The injustices is not about the North against Igbos, the West against the North, or Igbos against the West. No, it's not religion. It's how we are derailing and messing up our young people, their mindset. But then again, I say that everything lies in the hands of the young people.
Wow.
Because if you are not at the table where your future is being discussed, you don't have any future in that equation.
That's very, very correct, because representation is everything. So wherever you are, if you don't have equal amount of people representing different demographic of people, there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a lag. That's amazing. Tunde, you have to unmute yourself, then ask question.
Thank you so much, sir. Well, I've been following the person of very respected Mr. Shaz Oputa for a very long time. And there are a lot of things I've gotten to discover about your personality. One of them is the fact that you've chosen to pitch a kind of different perspective, from that of your dad, who you said was just overbearing on you. So would you say, apart from the fact that you had issues with him and that you had to have clash different times, would you say he had actually reflected a lot of, attributes, or he had inculcated a lot of habits in you, sir?
Well, in parenting, I'm a parent myself, and I say to most parents that it's not what you give your child, it's what you teach your child. And from a very young age, I've been taught to fight injustice wherever I see it. My father and I are no different. It's just that he did his own on the bench as a lawyer and as a Supreme Court judge. And Charlie Boy has chosen to do his on the streets with the common man, mirroring the pains of the common man, the agitation of the common man, and advocating for a more enabling environment, especially for young people. Because how do you explain that when young people, they leave the shores of this country and they go abroad and they blossom, they do well? That's because they have an environment that is conducive for them to grow and express themselves. So it is not all that bad. It's just that we have been cursed with bad leadership in this side of the globe, okay? Even in America, when Donald Trump came, he couldn't do all what he wanted to do because their institution was strong. We don't build institutions here in Africa. We build personalities, okay? So, and it's because we build personalities. That is why, like, the average Nigerian youth is kind of confused because he feels that those in government houses, are the Lord and their masters. But they're actually servants. They're there to serve us. They're there to create an environment for growth and progress. So if you're looking up to those people as Lord and masters, then what does that make you? That makes you a slave, really.
Exactly.
That's what it is. So the young people need to know that all the propaganda, one, is to instill fear in them, is to break them in their ranks so they can unite to fight them. Look at what they're doing with education. You have a 4-year course, you might end up doing that 4-year course in 8-9 years because of the indiscriminate strikes here and there. They don't want the enemy, They don't want you to get an education. They don't want you to be powerful to come and challenge them. That is what is happening. And terror is being weaponized so we all can stay in our own small circle, be afraid to talk, be afraid to express ourselves. you know?
In the course of my exploration into your kind of person, you've consistently, you consistently said you would not participate in politics, despite the fact that you've contributed in no small measure to activism. I think activists are people with the solutions, and not just people who are willing to consistently hold the system accountable. So I'd like to ask you that why don't you consider contesting in the interest of refining the existing system and making sure the status quo does not continue to stay, instead of consistently fighting the system without solutions?
Well, like I always say, God has blessed everybody with different talents. God has blessed you with your own talent, blessed me with mine. And knowing what God has blessed you with makes you live your life on purpose. It's just like if football is raining now, would I go and start playing football when I don't know nothing about football? You understand? Okay. And the politics as it is in Nigeria right now is it's a whole lot of ball game, you know, and you need to have some little treachery in you to be able to, I'm sorry, to survive it. But the point simply is that I'm not cut out for politics. My yes is my yes. There are no gray areas. Black is black, white is white, okay? I can't be with a bunch of people who say something in the morning and it changes in the afternoon and the evening is a total different story. It can't work. So what I'm doing is what I should be doing. As a father, keep talking to young people, keep creating this awareness that you young people, you have the power to change this mess. You have the power. If there's going to be an election next year, I think young people should get themselves together, go and get their PVC, because if they say that our votes don't count, that is selection. Why do they come to border us with their stupid 5,000, 10,000 naira to get us to vote for them?
Exactly.
Why? So if young people can really get together, they can make statements come 2023. Because like as I said, this battle is not for, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I know you guys know my age, you know. So the kind of power I packed even 10 years ago is not the power I have today.
That's true.
Okay. So my role should be more of an advisor to young people, to inspire, to ginger them, to motivate them to greatness. And that is a lot.
Wow, that's just too beautiful, sir. That's beautiful. And I respect the fact that you've consistently made yourself this kind of rallying point of initiatives to young people to actually, fight oppression. But I'd like to ask you, a lot of young people have actually signified interest in taking back this country from those who had actually held it to ransom since, independence as a matter of fact. One of them is Omoyele Sowore, who I know is actively involved in your struggle and has been very close to you. Would you say someone like him would go a long way in actually delivering this country from the kind of situation it is currently?
Everything that all the individuals, not just Sowore, there are a lot of people out there. The Dele Famoroti, there are a whole lot of young people out there who are preaching the same gospel. We need everybody on board, okay? Because we need to move like a tsunami, like a wave. So, first of all, the thing wrong with Nigeria is systematic. It's not about, even if you bring Jesus Christ and you make him president of Nigeria, Oh boy, it go tough one because the system is already warped. The system, this corruption we're talking about is endemic. Okay? Is endemic. We have always been operating from the premise of the mindset, my thief better pass your thief. So if my thief is in government, I'm happy because, you know, he's doing my bidding. At least I got to see small food chop from there. But once it's your own thief that is in government, the matter will change. And that is why you have mediocrity at the worst. It's the people who know nothing about nothing are the people who are occupying position of power. And where is that going to lead us? So it's not just about the individual. Do that individual have the fortitude, the power, the will? Is he ready to die there? Because you think these cabal people, they're going to let you come and scatter their business. No, because this is what they live off of. So to become that Nigerian president, there are a whole lot of stuff that needs to change. But first of all, we need to revisit our constitution because I think it works against us. That constitution that we have, not a good one. It's not favorable to the common man and to most Nigerians who want to see a better Nigeria.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. So at this point, I think I'm going to be throwing the gala of the interview back to the host. We should throw some questions to if I get it from him.
Thank you, Tunde. So, sir, you know, of course, I listen to all your fantabulous, as one of our comedians would say, answers to all these, you know, pressing issues. My next question is, can we get it right as one Nigeria? Or do we go back to the drawing board, to the table, and of course, discuss our collective existence as a nation? What do you think about restructuring regional government or revolution, as suggested by, of course, Ajilore?
Restructuring is a good thing, so people can take care of their immediate environment and work. So we know that whoever works will chop from where they work. You know, reduce the power at the center, okay? And we used to have it before, then something happened, you know, because the people, our enemies, quote unquote, didn't see it favoring them, okay? Because if you restructure and say, well, everybody should handle their own region, you know, as they see fit, but just remit to the center, then a lot of people will be left out because a lot of people are living on other people's sweat and they don't want to let go. You understand? So if everybody was left to go and take care of themselves, take care of their area, now waiting you walk out, now you ain't gonna job. Then, you know, we know that some part of our Nigeria will still be in the 15th century. Abi? Yeah.
That's very nice. Again, so you've talked about the, of course, regional government. What about the revolution by Showore?
The kind of revolution, I don't know. Revolution is revolution. It's not by anybody. Revolution is that time. Yeah, that time that something happens to a country and people will say enough is enough. But I think our revolution should start from a mental one. Our mindset must have to change. That's where that revolution will start from. how you go create revolution when young people are thinking, oh, they want to engage in money rituals? How does that help? All for foreign land, do we have people who are doing these rituals? We have technocrats, we have people who are inventors. Yeah, but here we believe, like Shehu once told me, religion has messed us up so much that we believe that anything happening to us is because somebody in the village is doing us something.
Yes.
The person we just met at the bus stop this morning is doing us something. So there has to be a change in our mindset. And this is the kind of sensitization I want to engage with.
Okay.
Because if we knew better, we would do better.
Yes.
For those who don't know any better, they remain where they are. You know, so rather than a revolution, though we can't help it now because things have gotten so bad, whatever change we expect cannot come with great consequences. Whatever change that we expect in this country today cannot come without grave consequences, because we have been laid back, we have been docile for a long time. You know, concern me, you know, concern me. It don't concern all of us now, because we're all affected and we're all going through the same frustration. But yet, as our poverty, our hunger, our right to live in a decent environment, has it really brought us together? Because these people are still playing, our enemies are still playing their old games.
Very actively.
That's a Yoruba man. You know, you can't, that's a Muslim, you can't trust him, that's a Christian, you can't. How do we go further with that kind of mindset? So the young people must understand that all of this is just a game, because they are united at the top.
Exactly.
When they do their corruption and whatever they do, because you find Igbo man there, you find Yoruba man there, you find Hausa man there.
Christian.
They be more united at the top than we are at the bottom. So that mindset, if you don't have that mindset, you can't have an effective revolution. So there has to be a revolution of the mind first.
Again, with that being said, again, that is another movement on its own to sensitize the minds of the youth or the people.
Another movement. It's not another movement on its own. Different people doing different stuff. Sure, like you keep mentioning, he's been trying. He's been doing stuff. Dele has been doing stuff. Shehu has been saying stuff. Okay? So we cannot stop talking. We have to keep.
Right.
What do we do?
But
if we can't carry guns and kill ourselves, so we need to talk.
So again, in comparing all the solutions, of course, by like people like Kano and Namdi saying, you know what, let Igbo leave, let them stay alone. Igbo whole saying, let Yoruba nation become, of course, we have some Arawa trying to say, let's Hausa people stay too. So what I'm saying
is, why do you think they're saying
that? Some of them are political, some of them are ignorant, because at the end of the day, to me personally,
no, that's not why.
No, okay.
Why they are saying that? Why people are agitating, even in the north. The middle belters are agitating. The west is agitating. The east is agitating.
Everybody wants to leave.
Because there is grave injustice in the land.
That's true, yes.
Because the law for one person is different from the law for the next person. So that's why everybody's agitating, because they no longer feel comfortable with the contraption called Nigeria.
Of course, of course.
So we hear one Nigeria, one Nigeria. Are we really one? Have you asked yourself, are we really one? We're
Justice
like
is not making us one.
one nation
Mhm,
in one nation.
mhm,
That's not the way to go.
exactly.
So unless we come to the table and reconcile all these differences, we can't move on as one Nigeria. It will be difficult.
All right. So for the last time. So again, the point I was trying to make earlier was when a person like Mr. Shogore is saying, let's just, let's do something. Let's agitate. Let's eat the road, shut it down. That we can start afresh, because every method that we all have tried, people like you start hashtag or Momo don't do, millions of different little group trying to, because we don't have the central resources to control the mind of everybody. This take a lot of money, a lot of resources, a lot of time. But, a man like that is trying to say, you know what, let's shut it down. Let's start all over. I want us to, again.
That is why I keep saying, see, Nigeria, well, what's our population? 200 million?
Mhm.
Yeah. Now, out of this 200 million, the powers that be that are holding Nigeria by the jugular, maybe they know 1%.
That's all it is, of course. Mhm.
Now, this is my explanation. The people, the outstanding, exceptional people
Mhm.
that will salvage this method, then fit no reach 0.5%.
Of course.
You understand?
Yes, sir. Mhm.
So if you can relate to that,
Mhm.
it will tell you that we don't need everybody to be on board before this change happens.
Mm.
We need just the few people who are determined,
Very
who
true.
are patriotic enough,
Mhm.
who in the face of anything
Mhm.
will damn it and do the needful.
Mm.
That's all we need. I saw some of them at the Lekki toll gate.
Mm.
Unfortunately, there was that massacre
Mhm.
that seemed to have calmed them down,
Mhm.
frightened them a little bit.
Mhm.
But it goes beyond that, because I know that a few of them are still planning and still strategizing.
Mhm.
Because if you're expecting that all the youths will come together, it will never happen.
Of course. Mhm.
It will never happen. The division is so great in this country that sometimes you just wonder where people's minds are. That is why I keep saying that we need a mental revolution.
Mm.
Or even those who are engaged just because they want to survive on the daily basis, they'll do anything. For them to understand that they're even hurting themselves.
Mm. That's
Until
very.
you get that, nothing can happen, I'm sorry.
Thank you so much, sir. So putting that aside, so now you made mention about how we always get it wrong when it comes to selecting our leaders. Again, 2023 is here. How do you see the 2023 presidential election? Who do you think is the most competent among the people that are going around right now, among all of them? Again, different party, everybody's ganging
Well,
up.
I want to see how things unfold. I'm not in the habit of making wild guesses.
Okay.
I want to see how things unfold. Then I can tell my own constituency that this is what I think, or this is where I think we should be going.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not just to have one good person be in the position of technocrat who knows how to do things, would they have the will and the power, okay, and not be cowed by the cabal and our enemies? Do they have the will to do something drastic? Because something drastic, something unusual must happen before we can change. It is not by grammar. It is by posturizing. Because a lot of people out there who are positioning themselves for presidency, and they know the game they are running. Yeah, because in Nigeria, don't believe everything that you see or you hear. You can't.
Sadly. So again, we have, because majority of the people that are really, I would say, popular right now in this contest, they are actually the people that we know them. We know their antecedents, we know their character.
Like who?
Like Atiku, like Saraki. Talking about Rotimi Amechi, we're talking about Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu.
Are they not all the same thing?
Exactly. So, and we have somebody like Showore that say, "Hey, I'm running, despite all the troubles." So that's why I'm saying among them right now, the one we have on the table, because again, I hardly doubt if a thief we just answer up and say, you know what, without nobody calling him out or him or her out, and say, I'm done. I think I've stolen enough of your money. I'm not gonna do it anymore. I'm gonna go home.
Like I always say, I woof the purge belle. You know, if you tell somebody where they for position, where they chop a wolf, you know, to collect them from your hand, even if you mean the best, to do your best and do good, it's to be difficult because they are immersed in it. It is their business. It is their way of life. The thing don't enter their bloodstream. So you think you can just, nobody gives you anything. For you to have anything, you have to take it. You have to be bold enough, courageous enough to take it. It's not about rhetoric and about posturizing. No, it's not about that.
So do we have anyone among them right now that we can even be thinking about?
I don't see anybody yet, or maybe, you know, we'll start to look at it in another 3 months, but my mind, they tell me, say, these people not go want election. I don't know what they're going to come up with next. You see the formation of the new army. Most people in the South has all been taken away from the army. So it's a Fulani army that we have now. And I wonder to what purpose. Not only them, they make army for.
And other forces, by the way, other forces too. Wow. All right. Today, can you do some follow-up with that?
Oh, thank you so much, sir. I want to especially appreciate our guests for actually doing justice to a lot of pressing issues since morning. Sir, while you were talking, you talked about a lot of things. One of them is the fact that you think young people would go a long way in actually redefining the system. And you talked about, you know, the struggle of IPOP and others. I think you have a platform now to actually engage the system via the committee you were recently appointed to steer or to actually be a member of actually to look into some of the grievances of the Southeastern people and what is actually fueling their kind of, you know, agitation for the breakup of this country. So by this point in time, I'd like to push a question. And my question is actually a reflection of what I read in the papers and I actually said some couple of months ago. Oh yes, let me just put it that way. At some point, you actually mentioned that you are going to live and die in Nigeria. So at this point in time, I think it is reasonable to push this question, considering the level of terrorism, banditry, killings in Nigeria, the health system that is not working. Would you say that it is actually reasonable at this point in time to restrict oneself to this country, despite the fact that the country is not working at all, and that it is dangerous to even commit one's life to this kind of system?
Well, all die not die. Okay, we are born to die. We either die gallantly or we die like cowards. decided that nothing is going to, I'm even heartbroken that most of my kids are abroad and they're looking at me like I'm mental for me wanting to remain here. But this is the only place I know. This is my home. The thing will go make me, I leave my home. I don't run before, during Biafra. I did. We did run from one place to another. I think I'm too old for that. And made peace with myself. If I die today, I don't die quick. Okay? I think just getting up and going, for me, my own view, is some sign of cowardice. I'll stay here. I will see the end. But even having said that, any young person, okay, with a start life that feels that they can no longer take it in this environment, I will gladly advise them to leave. If they can japa, make them japa. The ones who no fit wrong, we go all stay here. We go see the end of them. That is what I think.
Wow, that's just too beautiful, sir. That's beautiful, and it is iconic at the same time.
It's beautiful with that. What do you mean that's beautiful? Beautiful in what sense? What are you talking beautiful? What's beautiful about the predicament we're all in now? What's beautiful about young people being so hopeless, frustrated, not having an enabling environment to spread their wings? Beautiful. They say, now the grammar I talk, I know they talk grammar.
Of course, I believe it's the patriotism that has to do with it. I think that's what Tunde is referring
that
to.
is my life. That has become my life. What can I do?
What I was crediting was the contribution in the first place. I just think that kind of contribution is iconic. So at this point in time, sir, I'd like to pose this question as well, because you're in the best position to talk about the kind of legacy your dad actually left to the judiciary. The Socrates of the Supreme Court and the person of the late dad, was of the conviction that the best the court can actually give a common man is justice. But considering the level of dissent in the judicial system of this country as of today, would you say there had been an improvement, when compared with the era of the late dad? Would you say there had been this kind of, sporadic improvement in what used to be as a then, sir, most especially in the judiciary?
Can I say that? Of course, things have gone from worse to horrible. I remember before my father died, we always used to have arguments about Nigeria. And I will always keep telling her, saying, with what I'm seeing, how it's going, I don't know. And he always say, have faith, But I guess being from the old school, not seeing the Nigeria. In fact, I'm happy he left when he left, because seeing this kind of nonsense and what the judges are now doing in our law courts would have broken his heart, and he would have died very, very sad. So I'm happy that things didn't get to this point before he bowed out. And I'm happy that we were around him, his children were around him, to give him all the comfort, all the happiness he deserves. Because yes, the one thing my father was known for was integrity. How many people, those are qualities that we no longer see in the system. Honesty, integrity, where you won't find them.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. I think I still have a question, and it is actually in respect to, the struggles, the consistent struggles. You mentioned the fact that the youths should take up, the gauntlet by actually coming out to say no to the League of People that consistently held them to ransom. But I want to confirm to you, sir, that young persons have actually taken a lot of, efforts in actually making sure this thing stops. But it has not been stopped, into the fact that those who are in power are not willing to do. An attestation to this fact was that what actually transpired at Lekki. Sir.
You as a young person, would you stop? Because it's your future.
I'm not going to stop, but what it appears there's nothing changing at all.
Yeah, you keep, first of all, that change that you're looking for, you must be that change, first and foremost. As much as I blame bad leadership, I'll also blame most of the young people because their minds are in places where they shouldn't even be in the first place. But I try not to judge, to be understanding.
Platform, we want to respect most of those beautiful initiatives. But before we leave this platform this evening, I just like to seek the last counsel from you, because a lot of young people are actually willing to learn or get to take a few things away from you. We've learned a lot of things from your activistic career, your music, and have consistently portrayed the initiatives of the radicals. So at this point in time, before we call it a day, I like to know the correlation between your philosophy and your music and that of Fela Anikulapo Kuti, because Fela was this kind of radical who had chosen to be a different person entirely, despite studying medicine abroad. He chose to actually pitch his tent with music. So what is the correlation? Is there any kind of correlation? Are you contemporaries in terms of the kind of music you produce and all that? I'd like to know this conclusively.
Well, Fela stands on his own as a person. Nobody can compare, so to speak. As a great man that believed in his music and his message. And we needed to hear that message on and on and on. And there are a lot of artists, not just Charlie Boy alone, who are also singing conscious music. And I think we need a whole lot of that. Music is used to entertain or to pass information or to educate. Back in the days, it was more philosophical. It was filled with meaning. It talked about life. Mm. But these days, you see that it's just about the beat because people need to. It's more about the beat than the messaging. And that is not to say that we're short of this social messaging that we need, because there are a lot of artists who are doing that. But what's in vogue is the good beat. You don't necessarily have to be saying anything meaningful, but once you have a good beat, because music is to entertain, to unburden your mind. So I think because a lot of people, the market demand is more towards, I just want to be entertained. I just want to know the new trends, the new dance, drown my frustration. So that is what is getting people towards that direction. And that's why you see many of the artists today just doing those good beats, making those good melodies with their voices so people can be duly entertained. So it depends on where your mind is personally. If you want to sit all day and listen to conscious music, there are a lot of people who are doing that also, not just concentrating on the beat, For me, what I might say may surprise you. I don't know whether you've heard it before. Well, really, I'm not a musician. No. I'm just somebody who loves music and who see music as another platform to use for my messaging, period,
Wow. So I think that's the distinguishing factor between you and Fela Anikulapo Kuti, because
Yeah,
Fela
Fela
was
was a musician. He could read, write, interpret music. I can't do
Wow.
any of those things.
Wow. I just think there should be a platform for a lot of young people to learn from your philosophies. But eventually, we're actually setting up a kind of fellowship for a lot of young people to actually get to learn from most of those beautiful ideas, so that at least they can take a cue from it. But then finally on the show, sir, I'd like you to tell us, I'd like to know if you're actually optimistic about the future of Nigeria. And conclusively too, I'd like you to advise Nigerians as per what they do, as per what they should involve in, as per how they can actually transform their lives and bring a lot of innovations, just like we are currently doing, because a lot of them are currently watching you and they like to know and they want to be advised by you at the same time, sir.
Well, even though things are one kind, somehow not the best that we deserve, it's still up to us to fight, to retrieve our stolen future. Because the enemy has stolen our future, the future of our children and our unborn children. So it's for us to come together, the few who understand, those exceptional people I keep talking about, it's for them to come together, because I want to believe that they have the technology, they have the youth on their side, they have numbers on their side, and nobody should make them feel any less. Because if they realize the kind of power that they have, they should move quickly, because the salvation of this country lies in the hands of its exceptional and outstanding youth. And like I said earlier on in this interview, I've been privileged to meet more than a few of them. So I know you're asking me, do I have hope? Hope is what I have to live on. Without hope, I might as well go and commit suicide and die. Yes, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that this brand of youths that I've been shouting about I know that something is going on. I don't know what exactly, but I'm aware that something is going on. And all I can do is to pray for young people, as my sons and daughters, to do the needful, because this is when Nigeria needs you people. So you can't afford to be pissing all over the place and acting like nothing concerns you, because it's your future. Like I said, if you don't have anywhere to run to, let us join hands while it's still daytime to see what we're going to do about this. Otherwise, we all go here.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. We've been engaging on those platforms since morning. A very good person and in person of Mr. Shaz Oputa, popularly known as Salibo. They are taking us through a lot of
Say Charles again. Say the word.
Charles. Charles.
If I give you that, I go say now Charlie, but it's Charles, not Charles.
Pressing issues as it pertains to Nigeria as a country. And we are proud of him. We are proud of most of his initiatives. These are what we need to actually catalyze this country and bring a lasting change that can successfully, change the system and make it conducive for everybody. I want to especially appreciate you, sir, for taking your time to join us on this platform this evening. It has been a nice time, and we look forward to having you some other time. But without actually cutting or without concluding the program this evening, I think it is reasonable for my host to just give a brief remark before we call it a day.
All right, thank you, Tunde. And again, it's been a time well spent so far.
Can I ask you something?
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir.
Where are you transmitting from?
I'm in Dallas, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And where is he transmitting from?
Ondo State, Ondo State of Nigeria.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Shey una see the difference now.
No,
See us wey dey Nigeria, see person wey dey Dallas, see as he fresh like morning bread.
I think it has to do with the lighting, maybe the light and the camera.
The light, everything, as you fresh, you know, say the light will make you fresher.
Well, thank you for the compliment, sir. On this note, I want to ask the last question that from there we can take it away. You've already mentioned some of the solutions, and I want to say, how do we break free and, of course, secure a total freedom for Nigeria? Again, it's cooking now. The mathematics is being set, but people are sleeping. So what should the youth do? What should the people do? The disenfranchised people, the masses that are complaining every day. We're tired of this country. We're tired of this
They
country.
need to get together and make a bold statement.
Okay.
They need to do something that, you know, the first few days of that Lekki thing, I was like, oh my God, finally.
Yes.
Okay. They need to pull that kind of stunt again. And I am confident that the time will come. I'm confident, regardless of the kind of jabajantis I keep seeing, my only hope I've decided to place in the hands of Nigerians' exceptional, outstanding youth. Everybody can tell me that we don't have more than a few of them. And I've just explained to you that we don't need everybody on board. We just need that critical
solid ones.
Yeah. Who can devote their energy, because Nigerians, they get this. I'm hoping that those outstanding, exceptional people can use this. Because how do you explain people from the 18th century to overcome, defeat millenniums like you people?
Of course.
No, it's not possible. Except that we've all decided to go to sleep.
But something play out during these answers, and that is lack of leadership, direction. Do you think things like that, if it has to happen again, needs a leader, or it's okay without no leader?
There was leadership, because everything you can't have that kind of.
Of course, I know, but they're not coming from.
No, you can't lead away because you say, "I mean, they do." No.
Okay.
No, it's not that kind of leadership.
They lead from the back, pretty much. Wonderful.
A good leader will always lead from the back. You understand? Not because he does not want to be seen or heard. Of course not. But the like minds is gathered together. When they have their meeting inside their house, they come out, every arm of that department start to implement. Not the one who is going to go around to be seen as. No. That is not leadership, to be seen as.
Wonderful. Well, again, trust me, trust us. We're going to be inviting you again. This time is going to be on a variety of other topics that, might not just be about the freedom for Nigeria, but at least different areas. And again, we want to thank you so much for making the time out for us to participate in this, despite the fact that we're very new and young. Our name is not there yet, but again, we put this together. We share the links to you. We hope you help us to share it on different platforms that you occupy. And again, I want to say thank you so much. And I want to say thanks to all of our viewers as well. And again, we'll meet again. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your job done too. All right. Thank you, sir.